And now, a friend in need. While Kai and Cole successfully completed their game challenge, Lloyd faced his video game alone. Well, except for the fact that he runs into an old friend and some old enemies. So his game is really dangerous, but at least he is not really alone. Okay, this is weird, Lloyd said as a digital alien blasted at him, and dangerous. He had entered the game Triple Attack, hoping to win credits that would enable him to win the game. But at the moment, rows of alien invaders fired laser blasts from above. They descended faster and faster, getting closer and closer. Dodging blasts, Lloyd ran beneath a large mushroom-shaped shelter. How am I going to beat this game on my own? Lloyd asked. You are not alone, came a familiar voice. A surprised Lloyd turned to see the samurai Okino. Okino was a powerful warrior known for his bravery. The ninjas had met the samurai before, and they had been on other adventures together. Okino was a reliable comrade. Okino, Lloyd exclaimed. What are you doing here? I am following my own path, Okino said, and that path has brought me here, and now we fight. Together. Okino reached into his tunic and handed something to Lloyd. A throwing star? Lloyd said, looking at the object. Follow my lead. Okino was holding his own throwing star. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3! Lloyd finished. They hurled the stars at the aliens. The creatures exploded into balls of blue light. Then the stars returned to Lloyd and Okino. Whoa, boomerang stars, Lloyd said. We can't lose if we throw them fast enough. Do not be overconfident, Okino said. But Lloyd was already busy throwing his boomerang star at the other aliens, eliminating them one after another. Then a bigger and faster alien zoomed in. Lloyd threw a star at it. Instead of exploding, the alien absorbed the weapon with a loud gulp. Uh-oh, said Lloyd. The aliens approached as Okino threw his own star to Lloyd. The samurai plucked a mushroom from the ground and hurled it at the alien that had eaten Lloyd's star. The alien disappeared. Why didn't you say something about the mushrooms before? Lloyd said, starting to throw mushrooms too. Because I only just discovered them, Okino replied with a self-assured grin. Using the mushrooms, the two warriors made quick work of the remaining aliens. Woohoo! We did it, Lloyd said. High five time, my friend. We won. No, Okino said grimly. This was only the beginning. How do you know? Lloyd asked. The game is called Triple Attack, Okino said. This was but the first. That means there are 2 more to come. Yoo-hoo! Ho! Lloyd looked up at the hovering platform that appeared above them with a band of creatures on it. He recognized the furry creatures in an instant. It was the Brotherhood of Rats. But what were they doing in the game? You! Lloyd shouted, pointing at the dirty rats. You dirty rats! Yeah, it's us, replied one of them, and we're in control of this game. Ooh-hoo! Another rat laughed. Get ready to be destroyed by beach balls! Did you just say beach balls? Lloyd asked, scratching his head. That didn't sound too bad. I did, the rat replied. Suddenly the sky shimmered, and row after row of bright red, yellow, and blue beach balls dropped to the ground. When they hit, they flattened whatever they touched. Mushrooms went splat. The balls then bounced back into the sky. If we get hit, we'll end up like those mushrooms, Lloyd said. Okino nodded. Only if we don't move, he said. So move! A beach ball fell to the ground, and Lloyd and Okino barely had time to leap out of its way as they landed on top of their mushroom shelter. Give up now, a rat snarled, and maybe we'll only squash you a little. Okino glared at the rats. Never, he said. Let's see how these beach balls fare against my steel. Unsheathing his samurai sword, Okino slashed at a beach ball. It hissed air and then disappeared. Use your blade, Okino shouted. You don't have to tell me twice, Lloyd said. In the time it had taken Lloyd to draw his katana, Okino had sliced 3 more beach balls. Lloyd slashed at a beach ball, making it disappear, but it had taken some effort. Okino made it look so easy. We got this, Lloyd said. Yes, Okino said, but as long as the Brotherhood of Rats controls the game, it will never end. We must stop them. The platform landed on the ground as the rats decided to change their strategy. One of them grinned cheekily and pressed a big red button. The ground began to rumble, and a giant snake appeared with enormous fangs in its mouth. "What devilry is this?" Okino said. "Are you blind or what? It's a snake," the rat said. "A really big snake, and it's going to eat you." "Not if I can do something about it," Okino replied. He turned to Lloyd. "Remember, the snake is not our enemy. The rats control the game. The rats are our enemy. Distract the snake. Leave the rest to me." Lloyd nodded and screamed at the snake. "Hey, big and ugly, over here!" The snake slithered straight at Lloyd. Okino snuck in from the side and sliced the snake in two with one swift cut of his sword. But the snake didn't disappear. Instead, the second piece grew another head. Now there were two slithering snakes. Okino said. "That was not my plan." "All right then, plan B," Lloyd said. He took aim with his last boomerang star and threw it at the first snake. The star split it in two. That part grew a head. Now there were 3 snakes. "Ha!" a rat shouted. "That's the sound of me laughing." "Perhaps the mushrooms," Okino suggested. He reached down and plucked some mushrooms and hurled them at the snakes. The creatures turned their heads, catching and eating the mushrooms. The snakes grew larger. "Plan C, run!" Okino yelled as the 3 snakes headed for them. But before the snakes could strike, they managed to get out of the way, just as all 3 snakes collided in a huge explosion of smoke. When the smoke cleared, there was only 1 snake, except it was 3 times as big. "Enough of it. We must stop playing the rats' game and play our own," Okino said firmly. "Let's take this game to the rats." "I know what you're thinking," Lloyd said. The ninja and the samurai smiled at each other and ran for the rats. The giant snake followed. "Ha! Look at 'em run!" said one of the rats, laughing. "Yeah, they're running right at us. Ooh-hoo, ha-ha!" laughed another. But the rats were too busy having fun to see what Lloyd and Okino were up to. At the last possible second, the warriors jumped out of the way, and the snake crashed into the rats, destroying their platform. The snake disappeared instantly, and the game ended. "You did it," Lloyd said. "You beat the rats and won the credits." "No," Okino answered. "We did it, and those credits are yours." "Thank you, my friend. But what about you?" Lloyd asked. "As always, I must follow my own path, Lloyd, just as you must follow yours. I hope our paths cross again someday, my friend." The ninja and the samurai bowed to one another as Lloyd exited the game. The end.